All right, so we all know time is precious, right?
Yeah.
And staying ahead of the curve, well, that takes effort.
It really does.
And sometimes it feels like just keeping up with the basics is a full-time job.
Yeah,
But that's why we do these deep dives.
exactly.
So today we're looking at something that could be, well, a real game changer.
Big claims.
Big claims, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about Genspark.ai.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that name.
You've seen it. Yeah, it's making the rounds, and for good reason.
I think so.
Now think of it as like a shortcut, not just for finding stuff online,
Right.
but for actually getting stuff done.
Ah, interesting.
We've all been hearing about AI and all the amazing things it can do.
Oh, absolutely.
And now it's changing the internet as we know it.
Yeah.
Well, this Genspark.ai, it's a prime example of that.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
It's built around something they call an agentic engine.
Agentic engine. Okay.
You've heard that term?
I have, but I admit it's a little bit fuzzy.
Yeah, and honestly, it is a little bit
Yeah.
hard to wrap your head around at first.
It is.
So that's why we're here today.
All right, unpack it.
Unpack it.
I'm ready.
So instead of just endless search results, Genspark.ai, it uses these specialized AI agents
Okay.
to tackle specific tasks for you.
So these agents, are they like little AI helpers?
Exactly. That's a good way to think about it, little AI helpers.
Okay.
So our mission today is to figure out, what is Genspark.ai really doing that's different? How does this agentic engine actually work behind the scenes?
Right.
What are the potential, benefits for you, the good things,
Sure.
but also what are the possible pitfalls, the things we need to be aware of?
Yeah, got to look at both sides.
Exactly. Got to look at both sides. And how does all of this fit in with the tools we're already using?
Like Google, ChatGPT, all that.
Exactly. Google, ChatGPT,
Yeah.
all the search engines, AI tools, the whole landscape. Now, we're basing all of this entire deep dive,
Yeah.
on the information straight from the Genspark.ai website.
Okay, so straight from the source.
Straight from the source. So we're not speculating here.
No hearsay.
No hearsay, no rumors, just the facts as they present them.
Good, I like it.
And their website, it points to some key things that we're going to explore. They talk about the Super Agent, image studio, video generation, and deep research.
Okay, a lot going on there.
A lot going on, yeah. And these aren't just buzzwords. These are clues about how this agentic engine actually operates.
I see, so they're hinting at the tools.
Exactly. And the website really emphasizes this integrated AI experience.
Okay, so it's not just separate tools.
No, it's about bringing them together
Interesting.
and making AI more action-oriented, more, actually doing things for you.
Okay, so less about finding information, more about taking action.
Exactly. And that's the big shift here.
All right, I'm starting to get it.
Now, to really understand how this agentic engine works,
Yeah, let's get into the nitty-gritty.
let's get practical, right?
All right.
Genspark.ai, they offer this really helpful scenario on their website. Imagine, you're thinking about a weekend getaway.
Who isn't?
Exactly. Who isn't?
Right.
So you want to go to the mountains near Malaga.
Sounds nice.
Sounds beautiful, right?
Yeah.
So how would you normally plan this trip?
Well, let's see. Flights first. Probably Google Flights.
Google Flights, yeah.
Then maybe Booking.com for a place to stay.
Yep. Find a cozy cabin, something like that.
Exactly. And then separate search for hiking trails.
Right. So multiple tabs, lots of clicking around,
Oh, yeah. A lot of back and forth.
comparing prices, dates, all that.
Yeah. And it takes time, that's for sure.
It does. It takes time and it takes, mental energy.
Absolutely.
And that's where Genspark.ai comes in.
Okay. How so?
Well, instead of all that, imagine you could just put in a single request, a multi-part request, directly to Genspark.
One request for everything.
For everything, yeah. Their example is something like, plan a relaxing weekend getaway in the mountains near Malaga next month.
Okay.
Find a charming cabin for under 150 euros per night, and suggest some easy to moderate hiking trails.
Wow, that's pretty specific.
It is, right?
Yeah.
And that's where those AI agents come into play.
All right, so the agents get to work.
They get to work. So you might have one agent that's specifically designed to interact with flight APIs.
Okay, so it knows how to talk to the airline.
Exactly. It's fluent in airline language.
Got it.
Then another agent that's trained to navigate those accommodation platforms.
Booking.com, Airbnb, all those.
All of them. And it can filter by your criteria, your budget, your dates, all that.
So it's finding that perfect cabin.
Exactly. That charming cabin for under 150 euro.
Nice.
And then you might have a third agent that's all about analyzing geographical data and trail information.
Oh, cool. cool.
So based on your activity level, your preferences.
Yeah, how difficult do I want the hike to be?
Exactly. You can find the perfect trails for you.
That's amazing.
It is. And this is where the real magic happens.
Okay, the results.
The results.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of just giving you a list of links, which you then have to go through and piece together,
Yeah, that's the usual way.
Genspark, it actually synthesizes that information.
Ah, so it puts it all together for you?
It puts it all together. Imagine it presenting you with, a few specific flight options,
Okay.
direct links to those budget-friendly cabins, the ones that are actually available, and descriptions of suitable hiking trails all in one place.
That would save so much time.
It would, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and hassle.
And hassle, all that mental energy of jumping between tabs and websites.
Yeah, just gone.
Just gone. It's handled for you.
I like it.
So you can see the potential here is huge.
It is, especially if you do this kind of planning a lot.
Exactly. And think about all the other things you do online.
Research, shopping, events.
Events, booking appointments, all those multi-step processes.
Yeah, it could really streamline things.
It could. It's like having an AI assistant that takes care of the legwork for you.
That's the dream.
It is. A little bit, right?
It is.
So let's talk about the potential benefits for you, the real upsides of this approach.
Okay, the good stuff.
The good stuff. Exactly.
All right, well, first and foremost, it's task-oriented.
Right. We talked about that.
It's not just about finding information. It's about getting things done.
Achieving a specific outcome.
Exactly. And for anyone who deals with complex online tasks regularly,
Researchers, event planners, project managers.
anyone like that, this could be a huge time saver.
It could, and it could reduce that frustration, that feeling of being overwhelmed.
Yeah, just simplify things.
Simplify things, yeah. And then there's the integration aspect.
Right, all those tools they mentioned.
So they have image studio, video generation, deep research, all within the same platform.
Okay, so it's not just the super agent doing everything?
No, it's about combining these different AI capabilities.
Got it. So they work together.
They work together. So imagine you're researching a topic with deep research. You find some interesting data. You can then use Image Studio to create visuals.
Oh, charts and graphs, that kind of thing.
Exactly, to illustrate your findings. And then you could even use video generation to create a summary video.
Wow, a video from my research.
Yeah, all within the same ecosystem. It's pretty powerful.
It is. It's like a one-stop shop for AI.
It is. And it's designed to handle those more complex requests, the ones that often trip up traditional search engines.
Right, because search engines are all about keywords.
Keywords, yeah. But Genspark aims to understand your intent.
Your goal, what you're actually trying to achieve.
Exactly. So it can handle those multi-part instructions, those nuanced requests.
So it's more about understanding the context.
Context is key. And that means the results you get back,
They should be more tailored.
more specific to what you actually need.
Yeah, less generic, more focused.
Exactly. Because it knows what you're trying to do.
And that can save even more time because you're not sifting through irrelevant stuff.
Exactly. No more wading through pages of search results just to find that one nugget of information.
I mean, if it works as well as they say, this could be a real game changer.
It could. It really could. And when you step back and look at it, this feels like a fundamental shift in how we interact with the internet.
A new paradigm.
A new paradigm, yeah. It's a departure from the search engine model that we've been using for so long.
So it's not just an improvement, it's a whole new way of thinking.
It is, and it positions AI not just as a tool for finding things,
But as a proactive assistant,
a proactive and capable assistant.
that actually helps you get things done.
And gets things done, exactly, and that's really exciting.
It is, but of course there are always caveats.
Right, no technology is perfect.
Especially with something this new and this complex.
So let's talk about the potential challenges, the things we need to be mindful of.
Okay, the potential downsides.
The downsides, the things that might not be so rosy.
All right, well, first off, accuracy and reliability.
With AI, that's always a concern.
It is, because AI can make mistakes.
It can misinterpret instructions, generate incorrect information.
Yeah, or miss important details.
So you can't just blindly trust the results,
No, you still need to use your own judgment.
especially for important decisions.
Absolutely, double-check everything.
Double check, verify, make sure it makes sense.
Good advice.
And as a newer platform, Genspark.ai will likely have some limitations.
Right, it's not a finished product.
It's not. There might be bugs, there might be fewer features compared to more established platforms.
And it takes time to build trust.
It does. It takes time for the system to mature, for users to get comfortable with it.
Yeah, like any new software, there will be updates and improvements.
They'll learn from user feedback, from real-world usage.
And hopefully it'll get better over time.
Exactly. So we have to be patient.
And another thing to consider is the potential complexity.
Even though it's designed to simplify things,
The underlying AI is still very sophisticated.
it is. And crafting those precise prompts, the ones that get you the best results.
It might not always be easy.
It might not. There might be a bit of a learning curve.
Yeah, figuring out the best way to phrase your requests.
Exactly. And how much detail to provide.
Right, it's not just like typing a few keywords into Google.
No, it's more like giving instructions to a very capable but very literal assistant.
You got to be specific.
You got to be specific. You got to be clear.
And then there's the privacy question.
Oh, that's a big one.
It is, especially when you're giving an AI personal information.
Travel plans, research topics, things like that.
You want to know how that data is being used.
Absolutely, and protected.
And the fact that Genspark.ai has links to their privacy policy and terms of service.
That's a good sign.
It is. It means they're at least thinking about it.
And it's something you should definitely read.
Always read the fine print.
Always read the fine print, especially with AI.
Yeah, because it's a powerful technology.
It is, and it's important to understand how it's being used.
And how it affects your privacy.
Exactly. And finally, while it's not explicitly mentioned on their website, it's worth thinking about the potential for costs.
Right. These advanced AI services, they're not free.
They're not. Many platforms have tiered access or subscription models.
Yeah, you get more features if you pay.
And that could affect how accessible Genspark.ai is in the long run.
It could, so it's something to keep in mind.
It is, especially if you're thinking about relying on it for, your work or your personal life.
Makes sense.
Now let's zoom out a bit and compare Genspark.ai to the tools you're already using.
All right, how does it stack up?
Exactly. How does it fit into the landscape? So first, traditional search engines.
Google, Bing, the big ones.
The big ones, yeah. They're great at indexing information, finding websites, giving you quick answers.
That's what they were built for.
They were. But Genspark, it aims to go beyond that.
By actually doing things.
Doing things, synthesizing information, taking action.
So it's a different approach.
It is. But it's interesting to note, traditional search engines,
They're trying to catch up.
they're integrating AI features.
Like Google's AI overviews.
Exactly. So the lines are starting to blur.
Yeah, everyone's jumping on the AI bandwagon.
They are. It's the future, right?
It seems like it.
Now, how about AI chatbots like ChatGPT or Gemini?
Oh, those are interesting.
They're great for conversations, generating text, answering questions.
Yeah, they're very conversational.
But Genspark, it's more about those specialized agents.
The ones that actually perform tasks.
Exactly. It's less about chatting, more about getting things done.
So with ChatGPT, you might ask for recommendations.
Right, like what should I do in Malaga?
But with Genspark, you'd ask it to actually book the flights in the cabin.
Or at least present you with concrete options.
That's a key difference.
It is. It's about the outcome, not just the conversation.
Makes sense.
And when we look at other AI agent platforms out there,
There are a few popping up.
there are. Genspark seems to be focusing specifically on the search experience.
So reinventing search.
Reinventing search, yeah, making it more agentic, more task-driven.
And less about just finding links.
Exactly. It's about getting things done online in a whole new way.
Oh, okay, I'm getting the big picture now.
Good, good. I'm glad. Now let's delve into some of the more fascinating aspects of this kind of AI.
The cutting edge stuff.
The cutting edge stuff, yeah, the things that might give us a glimpse into the future.
Okay, I'm ready.
So one of the most exciting concepts is AI agents cooperating.
Cooperating, like working together.
Working together,
Yeah.
imagine multiple AI systems, each with its own expertise,
Mm-hmm.
all collaborating seamlessly to solve a problem.
Like a team of AI specialists.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
one agent might be great at searching and retrieving data.
Okay.
Another might be an expert at analyzing and summarizing that information.
And another one could take action based on that analysis.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like generating a report, making a booking, or even controlling a device.
Yeah, that's powerful.
It is. It's like having a whole team of digital assistants working for you.
And they're all coordinated.
They are, and they're all focused on your goal.
That's incredible.
And then there's the idea of AI agents that can learn on the fly.
Learn, like adapt.
Adapt, yeah. So if their initial attempts to complete a task fail,
I don't just give up
they don't give up. They analyze why it failed,
and try different strategies.
different strategies. They learn from their experiences.
So they're constantly improving.
They are, and that's a big leap because it means they're not just following instructions.
They're problem solving.
They're becoming more intelligent, more autonomous.
That's a little scary, but also exciting.
It is both, right?
Yeah.
And for you, as someone who wants to be well-informed efficiently,
Mm-hmm.
This could fundamentally change how we interact with the internet.
Okay, how so?
Imagine a world where you no longer have to manually search and click through pages.
Just tell the AI what you want,
Exactly. You instruct the AI in natural language.
and it does everything for you.
It handles the entire process, the searching, the analyzing, the booking, everything.
So instead of spending hours finding the best deal on flights and hotels,
You just tell your AI assistant, I want a relaxing weekend getaway in the mountains.
and it takes care of all the details.
It does. It's a complete shift from active participation to delegation.
Wow, that would be amazing.
It would free up so much time and energy.
So you could focus on other things.
Exactly. The things that really matter.
This is blowing my mind a little.
It is mind-blowing, right?
Yeah.
The potential here is huge.
It is.
So, wrapping up our deep dive into Genspark.ai,
Yeah, good overview.
it definitely seems like an evolution in how we might interact with technology in the future.
A big evolution.
We've seen the potential benefits, the time savings, the ability to handle complex tasks,
But also the challenges, the accuracy concerns, the privacy issues.
and the fact that it's still a new technology. It's going to evolve and improve.
And we need to be aware of those challenges.
We do, but overall it's a fascinating glimpse into the future.
It is, and it makes me think, what's next?
Exactly what's next. And for you, our listener, I encourage you to think about how tools like Genspark.ai or the underlying principles of agentic AI might change your own workflows,
How we work, how we learn.
how we live, how we interact with the world,
Big stuff.
big stuff. And it might be worth checking out the Genspark.ai website yourself.
See it in action.
So you get an action, get a feel for it.
And start thinking about how it might fit into your life.
Exactly, because this is just the beginning.
The future of AI is just getting started.
And it's going to be an exciting ride.
I can't wait to see what happens next.
Me neither. And who knows? Maybe we'll do another deep dive on this in a few months, see how things have progressed.
That would be great.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right, well, until then,
Stay curious.
and stay informed.
We'll see you next time.